What's up, everybody? It's your girl, Mickey Truth, aka Mickey Facts. Hey, y'all, we got a live going on. Yes, a live. I know. I've been dropping so many premieres. Y'all probably like Mickey be playing too much. She ain't really gonna go live. Well, tonight I am gonna go live because I got some stuff I want to talk about, okay? If y'all been living under a rock or whatnot, y'all have to have heard about the sad story in regards to a mother stabbing her five kids. And of the five kids, three of them did pass away. And we're going to talk about it. And then what makes it even more twisted is that her sister, her twin sister at that, has been convicted of a similar crime. So before we get into all that, y'all already know how we gonna start it off. Hookah. I said hookah. Hookah. Let them know what time it is, man.
Hey, what's up, y'all? It's Hookah Anonymous, and you are now rocking with Mickey Truth. She live up to her name, not the fame. So make sure y'all subscribe to her channel and stay updated on what's real. Bye.
Coming from where I come from, they doubted me, but I came up. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. Coming from where I come from, they doubted me, but I came up. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. I made it through the storm, trying to conquer the world. Good reporting ass Mickey. We love you, Mickey.
So yes, y'all. I am here. What it do, Jamal? What it do, Auntie D? Hey, we about to talk about it, okay? Now, first and foremost, I'm going to be bringing Clubhouse on in a minute. I just got to set everything up because I was working on another video. Y'all know I'd be late. I was working on another video, but I said, you know what? This video that I'm working on could wait. I got to get on live and talk about this story because it's important to me. Like, although I do a lot of entertainment, and unfortunately, recently, I'm the one you come to if you want to know if somebody's snitching. Unfortunately, it is what it is. But this is very important because I remember being younger. What it do, Spike? I ain't seen you in a long time. What people fail to realize, I don't know about y'all, but we hear these stories. I remember the very first story that I ever heard in regards to something like this was Susan Smith. That's a South Carolina case. She basically put her two kids in the back seat and let the car go off into I want to say a lake or something like that, and the kids drowned. That was the very first time I can remember, and I was a kid. Because if y'all even Google that case, it was a long time ago, right? But that was the first time I ever heard of it. Then over the years, we had more cases in South Carolina. I remember it was one to this day. Matter of fact, I can't even remember her name, but she was a young girl. Her baby hasn't been found to this day. Like, so this is unfortunately common, and I don't understand why. And I wanna, like I told you, I wanna put awareness on things. Like, we got to put it in, like they say, in the what's the word? I can't even, the algorithm, right? We got to shed light on stuff like this because something needs to change. Crimes against kids is unacceptable to me. But I'm only one person. And look, the same way they pick up when I figure out that somebody was telling, I want them to figure out how can we avoid going down this road again with another family or another kid. So I got you, Spike. But I appreciate you pulling up. So I'm going to play this clip. Well, no, first let me get Clout Monsters in here. Yeah, I'm gonna get them on here real quick so that we can chop it up because we touched on it in our room yesterday, but we didn't really get into it like that. So we're gonna, you know, talk about the facts and give our opinion on what's going on. And I want to hear from y'all too, you know? Yeah. So right. So you in Texas. So you know, first and foremost, how what's going on. And a lot of people in oh, hold on.
He said, put me on one of your friends.
Oh no. Yeah,
Uh-uh.
that's my bad. I forgot I came in hot. Look, you never know what you might hear over on Clubhouse. They're gonna catch on that they're live. Let me let them know. But yeah, we're gonna get into it. The sister case has more available than the most recent one, but we're gonna look it up. We're gonna look it up. So let me make sure they're good before I take them off mute real quick, and then we're gonna get this thing going. All right, let's see. All right, y'all. I'm live, and we can hear y'all. FYI. All right, so I got YouTube on here. I got the Cloud Monsters and House of Truth right now doing what they do best, but we get to the business. So I'm gonna play audio for those who may not have heard about it. Which, like I said, you got to be under a rock if you haven't. But you know, we're not here shaming anybody. We're gonna break it down. Let me pull up the video. Say hey everybody. They muted up quick. They were like, oh snap.
Man, your big glass wine
Hold on, I gotta find the video. And y'all already know who that is, the biggest hater in Cloud Monsters. Don being himself.
Big Dom.
All right, y'all. Here we go. I'm about to play the audio now.
And we begin with breaking news in Ellis County. 3 children found dead and 2 others rushed to a hospital with stab wounds. Sources tell us the suspect is the children's mother and is in custody tonight. Police have been at a home in Italy since 4 this afternoon. That's located off I-35, about 40 miles south of Dallas. WFAA's Matt Howerton joins us live after speaking to relatives and investigators tonight. Matt.
Yeah, Cynthia, I don't know how to say this here, but what happened here on this street in this tiny community behind me is simply unfathomable. A mother, police say, stabbing her own children, 3 of them to death. Police still on scene here tonight telling us that all this happened around 4 p.m. this afternoon. And believe me when I tell you, something like this that happened on this tiny street in this tiny community has sent a titanic shockwave through so many here in Italy, Texas. So far, what we know tonight, it is unknown what sparked the killings, but WFAA sources telling us the mother stabbed her children when a CPS worker who suspected the mom was having unsupervised visitations arrived at a home on the street where the children lived to check on everyone unannounced. The children, we were told, were living with another relative at the time. The kids living here under the supervision of another relative, as we said, police telling us that CPS worker called 911 when she found all of them dead. 3 of the children, all young, 2 more taken to the hospital. Their injuries unknown tonight. Police not saying much else. We don't know the name of the mother or what charges she's facing right now. Our cameras did capture a group praying outside the home moments ago. As we said, everyone here very upset, shocked. A relative who babysat the kids spoke with us tonight, saying she remembers holding the children like it was just yesterday.
And I just want everybody to know them are some beautiful angels. And I love him. And I know God never make no mistake. And I just want to say, they gained their wings. And this is something that hurts so bad.
All right, and I want to say shout out to Mimi Gates, man, and Clout Monster. She actually started this off yesterday, and that was the original clip. Now, since then, of course, the identity of the woman has been released, and I'm about to pull her picture up on the screen in just a second. Yeah, it's when you hear stuff like I said, I've heard of stories multiple times, right? Just locally, right? Not even across the world, but locally. So it's not something like I would say is new, but it doesn't get any easier each time I hear about it. Now, while I'm looking for this photo, Cloud Monsters, what y'all feel about hearing this? I know some of us spoke yesterday, but if you want to just speak up now, just to set the tone for everybody about where we are with this.
Hey, this the sister thing? Really, sister?
This is the most recent sister, the one that happened recently.
Yeah.
Dom, you're a little muffled. I think it's heartbreaking. Those poor babies.
Exactly. The picture y'all see on the screen is the picture of the mom, who is 25 years old. And behind the picture of her is actually a picture from the scene. If you can tell, the house with the white lawn chairs in it is the same as it was on the news. The children all were under the age of 6. It was a 6-year-old, 2 5-year-olds, which were twins, a 13-month-old, and I want to say a 2-year-old. So they were definitely babies. Definitely didn't understand what was going on. 3 out of 5 of the kids did pass away. They were murdered by their mother. And 2, at this moment, because I'm looking it up now, I don't see any more info. What I want to do is kind of break down the situation from what we know. Like I said, this is an open case. It's new. It's not going to have as much detail available for us to peek through like her sister's case. And yes, I mentioned it when I first came on. She is a twin. And yes, her sister also was charged with murdering one of her kids. And we're going to get more into that in a minute, because her case actually got documents we can look at. But just on this one, because we don't want to move the goalposts. She's sick as fuck. And I'm not even about to cap and sit here and say she got mental illness or whatever. I don't know if she does, but I still say she's sick, period. Y'all know I like to tie in my own personal situations with some of this stuff so y'all can understand why I'm so serious when it comes to crimes against kids. It's not just because I have kids and none of that. It's because I was a kid having to live through a lot of stuff, okay? Including the foster care system, okay? It's nothing more scarier than having to be put in foster care, for sure. Especially when you're young, you don't know what's what. All you know is you want to stay with your parents or your loved one, and you can't. And they come and they snatch you up. And to this day, I want to say, rest my mama's soul, because I wish she was alive for me to ask her exactly how old I was, but I know had to be like 6, 7 years old. And I remember the police being there. I remember that. Like, I can't tell you the whole story, but I vaguely remember that scene. So that brings me up. What's up, Gaddy? Thank you for pulling up. That brings me to think when I got older. I always vow I never want my daughter to have to go through being forcefully removed from me for whatever reason. Because we all know, I don't know, well, I'm going to speak for myself. I know in my community, people play dirty games when it comes to child welfare or child services. They'll call your enemy, will send them your way. And let me tell you, I've been there. As far as being snatched up, I'll never play no games like that. But some people do, okay? And I know for a fact, because I know people that have been through it, where they will come to your home, and especially if it's anything dealing with drugs or anything like that, they'll come to your home and they'll put in place a safety plan. Okay, now I'm only speaking on South Carolina. I can't tell you if this is universal. South Carolina, they'll do a safety plan, meaning they're not going to court order take your rights on your kids, but they're going to give you an option to put a family member forward that can pass like a background check, stuff like that, that can tend to your kids. Okay. And that's how they do until they finish investigating whatever situation it is. Right. So I know, like I said, firsthand, some family members, especially if you don't think it's really nothing, or you want to be blind to the fact that it's really something going on, you want the kids around the mother or the father, because I've seen them take away from the father, and you sneak. And when I say sneak, meaning on that paper, and the reason why I know, especially in South Carolina, I was a safety net for somebody. I had to take in my goddaughter once, and I had to sign the paper. I had to read the paper to know if they say the kids cannot be left alone unsupervised with the parent, that's what it is. Okay. Now, I ain't never played no games like that because, like I said, I ain't going to jail for nobody. But I know other people that have, that will allow that parent to come over, babysit. That parent to still, hell, I done seen some be the safety net and send them back home. So I've seen it. So I don't have empathy really for whoever the custodian was at this time, because until I hear otherwise, I'm pretty sure they knew that lady was there with them kids. Now, I'm not gonna put it on them that they knew this would happen, but when you go against the grain for situations like this, things happen. Now, I'm gonna open up to the floor. What do y'all feel just about the scenario that they're talking about? Meaning she wasn't supposed to be unsupervised with these kids. They got wind that she was, and just so happened to come, and she was unsupervised. How do y'all feel about it?
I feel like the guardian should have been, what's the word I'm looking for? Should have definitely followed the guidelines, because the children's, livelihood, their stake, everything about them was on the line. It could have saved them babies.
Exactly.
Can you hear me?
That
Yeah.
me? I think I can hear you now.
I'm sorry. But yeah, I agree. It's disgusting to me. And I think they should start really prosecuting and taking it seriously. If they don't really prosecute these people, that's why the system is not working. You know what I'm saying? They put the system provisions in, and as soon as they break them, the kids is dead. That's crazy.
That's facts. Any fella, I want to hear like one of the guys. What do y'all? How do y'all feel about this situation?
Okay.
Right. And see, that's another thing.
I just jumped in. What's going on?
We're talking about the mother who killed 3 of her kids and stabbed the other 2, but they didn't die. And I want to hear from a man's perspective.
I mean, she got to be pretty burnt out. You know what I mean? Anybody that just decide to stab any innocent person got to be kind of, not kind of, but straight up burnt out. Like, especially somebody they supposed to be loving and protecting and all that kind of good stuff. Like, I mean, hey, that's different.
Yeah, I can't even fathom it. I know firsthand women, they go through a lot with their kids. I don't know if she was like a single mom or whatever the case may be, because I done had a situation with my BM. She like, when we separated and I'm working so much trying to do my stuff, and she done called me like, hey man, it's a lot. I was raised in a single parent home too, so I know it's stressful, but that shit just crazy, man. That's some shit that
You're right. And
I don't
this
know,
is
man. That shit crazy.
so this is my thing. She technically had a break at this moment because she wasn't supposed to be around the kids by herself. And that's why I said, although without a doubt this lady was wrong no matter what, the blame has to be put a little bit on whoever this relative was. And I know people gonna be like, Mickey, she probably had, or she or he, because we don't know if it's a she or he, probably had to go to work. Again, when you sign that paper, they outline the stipulation. You even know what the allegations are. Now, they don't put who put the allegations out there, but they'll tell you what the allegations are. And as of right now, we don't know what the allegations are as far as to why these kids wasn't even with her. But nevertheless, I'm pretty sure whoever had the temporary custody or whatever, they knew what time it was, in my opinion.
She did this to somebody else's kids.
Say that again.
Did she do that to somebody else's kids or her kids?
Her kids.
Yeah, ain't no excuse for that. Like, you know what I'm saying? No
Nah,
matter what's going on, ain't no excuse. I don't care what's going on. Ain't no exemptions. That's just how I feel, period. Because if you love your children, anybody kids, you're not finna do that shit, period. I don't care what the world is falling. You can be fucking, the world can come to an end. I'm still gonna be running on my back with my kids, period.
Exactly.
Yeah. Ain't
that's a
shit, you
fact.
know what I'm saying? I can be damn near losing everything, stressed out, the fucking losing the house, losing everything. We finna be something finna give. I ain't finna take it out on them, period.
Yeah, I can't see it. I can't. I ain't got no excuses for none.
And Auntie D, I'm pretty sure she got some mental illness. I'm not gonna take that away, but I said this yesterday in our content room in Cloud Monsters. I know people that's got diagnosis with mental illness that take medication that even have freaking episodes. I ain't never saw them violent with their kids. Um, I know I had a girl that worked with me that used to have episodes. She had a plan in place, like with family, where she would, go check herself into, like, I'm not really sure if it's called a mental hospital or something when it gets like that. So, I mean, I'm not taking away that mental illness is not real, like, amongst this. It's just, I guess, like I tell y'all all the time, I'm biased when it comes to acts against kids. I just don't. I understand something maybe 1+1 = 2 to the situation, but to me, all I'm seeing is zeros. Like, I don't understand how this happened. Now, like I said, this is a development story, but it's a story that's a little more settled, that's close to this that we can look into. And that is the story of her sister. Now, this woman's name is Shatanta, something like that. Can't pronounce it. Hall. And her sister name is Troy Shanae Hall. So let's pull up Troy Shanae. And I'm gonna change screen out real quick. Cloud Monsters, I'll just say out loud the paperwork, but I'm gonna be pulling up her paperwork because hers is a little newer. Oh, before I do that, I did pull her background. The Shamaya Dion Shanae Hall is the woman who just murdered her kids. And she don't have a lot on her background, but she has like some assaults. And again, you can't really use that as a basis to say, oh, she's a violent person. But, once stuff like this happens, you can't help but to say, was she a violent person or not? But I'm going to go into her sister. Matter of fact, let me see if I can find an audio for her sister. Pretty much the other sister got it on lock right now. I don't feel like searching through it, so that's fine. Her actual indictment is available, so I'm about to switch out. So, like I told y'all Texas, you can pretty much get whatever, from online. So that's where I'm at, Dallas County. Let me see. Auntie D said it happened because the person who was supposed to be watching them like her let her come over there. Right, without supervision. You're right. So we're gonna start here with the police report. I'm gonna try to make it as big as possible. So this situation happened June 17th, 2021. So this was about a little less than 2 years ago that her twin sister, Troy Shay Hall, killed her daughter. And I'm going to start with the police report. Y'all see it here. Dallas County. And we got a couple people in Clout Monsters from that area. And Dom is one of them. And I want to ask him something once I get through the police report. So Dom, be ready for that. So it says here, based upon information received from reporting person Maya, it is believed that the suspect, Troy Shay Moan Hall, committed the offense of capital murder on June 17, 2021. And it gives the address. And this is the facts of this case as follows. On June 17, 2021, officers responded to the above listed location regarding a possible deceased person inside of the residence. Upon arrival, officers met with the reporting person, Maya Hall, who explained she was taking a bath in the rear bathroom when she heard witness N. Williams, who is also a victim, and her son, witness, screaming. Witness T. Hall informed Miss Hall that the suspect, who is her biological daughter, had stabbed witness Williams in the other bathroom. Miss Hall and her son returned to the other bathroom where they observed the suspect with the knife in her hand, while witness Williams bled from his stab wounds. Miss Hall and T. Hall struggled with the suspect in an attempt to take the knife away from her. In the process, Miss Hall fell into the bathtub, subsequently cutting her hand while struggling for the knife. Shortly after, the suspect exited the bathroom. They got some errors in here. I don't even know what that's saying. Okay, so it says Miss Hall did all she could to make it outside to try and get help. T. Hall and witness Williams, who also had stab wounds, were already outside. T. Hall went back into the house. Because they got the word scrambled. Blank told him the suspect was stabbing the complainant. When T. Hall entered the house, the complainant laying on the living room floor, bloody with multiple stab wounds. T. Hall, suspect near the complainant. He also observed a large black knife on the floor near complainant. According to witness T. Hall, the defendant was quiet and did not say anything. T. Hall exited the house. He observed witness Duncan, a neighbor, enter the house from witness Duncan is an off-duty Dallas County Sheriff officer who reside next door. Miss Hall, why is it like that? YouTube, y'all see how the words is messed up? Don't know why that's like that. So it's not me, it's just the words. Duncan go inside, check on the complainant and suspect. When witness Duncan entered, he observed the suspect over the complainant's body. At some point, the suspect walked towards the front door of the residence. It was at that time witness Duncan ran out of the back of the residence and met the suspect as she exited the front. He ordered her to stop and get down. Witness Duncan observed blood on the suspect's hands. Witness Duncan eventually handcuffed the suspect and left her in the front yard while he ran back into the house and tried to talk to the complainant. However, she was unresponsive. He observed the complainant had multiple wounds and he could also see her. And trigger warning, y'all. I didn't read this prior to coming on. I didn't know exactly how it was gonna get down. So if you don't want to hear like the goriness of it, please take my apology. I'm sorry I didn't read it first. So trigger warning. All right, so it said here he could also see her intestines were protruding out of her abdomen. Witness Duncan yelled outside for someone to call 911. Failing it was taking too long for medical personnel to respond. He placed the complainant in his private vehicle and drove her to the nearest fire station, which was Dallas Station 44. The complainant was then rushed to Baylor Hospital by ambulance, where she was later pronounced deceased as a result of her injury. Initial autopsy revealed the complainant had over 30 stab wounds. So it continues to say, when the suspect was placed in Officer A. DeLapinen's squad car, she made a statement. I did it. They were raping my daughter. The suspect was taken into custody and transported to Dallas Children's Advocacy Center. That was a lot. I'm still stuck on the paragraph before, but that's pretty much what it was. I'm gonna open the floor to anybody. I'm looking at YouTube comments. How y'all feeling hearing that?
I have a question. I don't know if you know this or not, but do you know if this was like the same home?
You know what? I can look it up real quick.
Because I'm curious, like if they were all living with the mother or the grandmother or whatever.
That was 30 times.
And for her to say that they were bleeping her daughter. So why would you kill your daughter? Like,
right. Do we give the address? Where's the address?
Let's just say it definitely sounds like she has some mental type issues, and that the sister may also suffer from the same thing. So it's kind of like, to me, that like whatever their CPS system is, or their child protective system, kind of need to step it up, because that's wild.
Exactly.
That sounds like some scary movie shit.
I mean, because you had one incident happen with the sister. I understand they're not connected, but it's just weird if both of them have paperwork on, like, have a case out at the time, like, you know what I'm saying?
Well, at family court, we won't be able to pull it, but I'm still looking at that angle, being that the sister is case a little older, it might be a little more easier to get stuff from her, but they tight-lipped.
only a couple years.
But no, it's not the same address.
But here's my thing, like we say we need CPS to step it up, and we know that CPS has, slacked and failed children horribly in many, 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 many cases. However, it appears that they did what they were supposed to do, at least for this
case.
Well,
not for this case. Yeah.
And it was the family who really dropped the ball and really failed the children.
Yeah, that's a fact.
That's a fact. I think I probably would need a little bit more information to kind of confirm that they maybe, like, the powers that be in the area didn't do what they were supposed to do. But I'm just interested to see if they ever lived together at one point in time. Because if one of you got a case while y'all living together and it's children there, then it's kind of like by default, that person may end up catching the case as well. So I'm just interested in that.
Well, they are twin sisters, and they've had other cases. And I only know this because of our room the other day, but they had violent cases together in the past against the one twin sister's ex-boyfriend.
Jesus. So Mimi actually brought this up yesterday, and I'm just about to pull up the paperwork on it. As far as this particular twin, the Trochet Hall, it is stating here, well, this is the indictment that y'all see right now for capital murder. And I want to say, and y'all, matter of fact, this is what I was going to ask Dom, or anybody in Texas can tell me, is capital murder in Texas automatically death penalty or no?
I'm in Dallas. I don't know. Normally, I thought it was either you had to have a headshot, but for something like this, she probably definitely need the capital murder charge. But
Hold on.
I
What was
think
the
that's it.
question again?
For capital murder, is it automatically death penalty?
No, it's not. No, it's not. It's not automatically a death penalty. It just depends on the severity of the crime.
Of the crime, yeah. They're gonna be capital murder, and when they try her, that's what it's gonna talk about. They're gonna speak to her character. So, like Jay was saying, if she has a past record or anything like that of violence, and they speak to her past and then talk about her case and everything, she most likely she could get it, especially with how heinous the crime is.
But I think with mental illness, I'm sorry, but I think with mental illness that like automatically just like eliminates that.
Give me 1 second, y'all. Auntie D, do you have a Clubhouse? I got some people on YouTube that want to join the conversation.
Okay, bring them in.
Yeah, no, I got two partners that got capital murder charges, and they ain't got no death penalty type of shit. They got some big ass numbers, but they ain't got no death penalty shit. But in her case, you never know because it's a heinous, like it's a fucked up ass.
Okay.
Yeah, it's a fucked up crime. I got two partners that I know with capital murder charges, and they ain't got no death penalty.
Well, so I know someone who was executed in Texas. I grew up with him. He and the female he was with they murdered someone here in Indiana, and then they ran to Texas and they killed a deputy sheriff in Texas. I think men are the ones who are majority to get the death penalty. Females, it does not seem that they get the death penalty as often. There's not many on the list, if that makes sense. Like when he was on death row, like I studied it. I looked at people who are currently on death row. I read their charges because it's all public record on their website. I've read offenders who've already been executed, their last statements. I was like so deeply invested in learning about it because I thought it was wild how many people get the death penalty in Texas.
You got to be shitting me.
No, what?
Do y'all know this Troy Shea Hall was granted money for a private investigator from Texas?
Yeah, and then you have the attorneys that will sit there and try to, do things like that when it's,
One part of the story we did not add into Troy. Again, y'all, I know we talked about both sisters. Just a recap. The first sister, which is the Shamaya Hall, which is the most recent heinous act against kids where she killed 3 of her 5 kids, stabbing the other 2, but they are still living. It's not a lot of info available for her yet because it's so new. But then she had a twin sister, is who we're referring to now, Troy Shea Hall. Okay, Troy Shea Hall was charged with capital murder in 2021. And this is the part that I hadn't said yet. As we read in the incident report, she stabbed her daughter 30 times. Her daughter was only 7 years old.
And she was a beautiful little girl. I've seen pictures of her.
7 years old. 30 times to the point they put in the incident report. Literally, her whole abdomen was gone. Her intestines was out. But then, see, that's why I say y'all I'm biased. I understand the law is the law. It's things in place to help people do a defense. But when things like this, it's just, that's why I said the law ain't as cut and dry as they want it to be, because situations definitely like this deserve a special condition. We shouldn't be paying. And I say we, I don't live in Texas, but we, as far as like taxpayers, should not be footing a bill for this type of situation. I'm sorry. That's just my opinion.
I think in this case is when it's like 100% no, there's no shadow of doubt that the person committed the crime. I don't think they should receive any kind of funding on anything, not a public defender, not anything.
Yeah, this is
especially when it's, acts against children and literally caught red-handed.
This is where now I kind of I think a couple people, I know Mimi touched on it yesterday in the room, and a couple people in my YouTube chat brought it up about mental illness. And you guys are right. They are definitely coming with it. And if y'all see here on the screen, it's the document where they're basically stating that she needs to be evaluated. Now I get it, I get it. Because you got something got to be wrong with you to do this, right? I get it. Now this is my question, right? And y'all, if y'all don't agree with my stance, that's fine. Let me know. But this is my stance on it. If there was no documented, no like actual trail to show that she been had signs of being mentally ill, I don't know if I'm gonna buy that mental thing. And that's just my opinion.
That's exactly where I was gonna go with it. I don't buy it at all. I'm sorry. If you don't have a well-documented, for me, I would need, in my opinion, I would need a well-documented history. And I need history. I need a history showing that you were trying to get help as well. Not just that you have mental problems. I'm sorry, I'm not gonna spray you none because it just don't make sense. Like, it's on top of her having family around her, it just don't make sense.
But if you kill your kids, your ass is mental.
Yeah, you're definitely
ain't no way
mental.
around that.
I agree. And for some people with mental illness don't really realize like the depth of their illness. Or it's a possibility they didn't have the resources to get the help.
But it should be some kind of trail, though. It should be something like from previous police reports, or going to jail, or going to like a psychological institution or something like that. Some shit like that. It should be something.
Not always, though.
Yeah, not always. Some people.
These mothers, the grandmother, could have failed them as children and never got them the help that they needed. All the signs could have been there, but she was in denial, or the family was in denial. You never know.
This is my thing, and I get that, not knowing, where the resources at. But if you would get government assistance of any kind, you knew where to go to get food stamps. You knew where to go to get Medicaid, family independence, welfare, whatever. You knew where to go.
Did she stab him?
30 times.
Oh yeah. Now that's up close. And
you know what's crazy? If she would have had to do some extra, like go to the IRS office or go to this office and sit here and fill out these forms to get her the checks that we got, for the pandemic. If she would have had to do something like that, she would have did that for sure. But she's not gonna go sit nowhere to go get help. That's why it's on her at the end of the day.
Did it say like if she was on like some type of hallucinogens or something?
Not yet. This is the first document we pulled up where they referred for the like mental health thing. It's like 2 more. I'm not sure what they say, but
I remember a story from a man putting a goddamn baby in the oven. He was on PCP.
Well, CT, I don't know if you heard or not, but her twin sister did the same thing to her daughter.
The twin sister did the same shit.
Yeah, we're talking about her twin right now.
Whoa. Yeah, well, right. Like,
that's just some fucked up genetics right there.
I agree with Jay. The parents and the family get tired of helping and they don't be want to pursue it. They just want to get the money.
Well, that's a fact.
So, and let me say this, and I'm gonna say it just because this is my personal experience, right? Growing up, my mom and my dad was habitual drug users. They were in and out of jail. on and off drugs my whole adolescent. Hell, to be honest, my whole adult life. Okay. When I was growing up, they used to say, oh, she gonna be just like her mom and daddy. She gonna go down the same path, right? And at one point, I ain't gonna lie, I kind of thought that's what my life was gonna be about, but it wasn't. You know, I had to just say fuck them and like really stand on my own and do what I had to do. So when they say, because per statistics or the numbers, I should have been hooked on some type of drug, being that I came from that. I should have been a long rap history or like background. Like literally, I should have been one of the people that I look into type things. So I don't really buy genetics all the way or even like the traits from the family line, because it comes a point, and let me add in there that technically I would be labeled under having mental illness because I have real bad anxiety that's almost depression like on real shit. You know, so again, I just don't buy it personally. That's my thing. I just don't buy it personally.
Well, my bad. Let me refrain. That's a combination of the two. Cause shit, my family fucked up. Like fucked up. Like all my kinfolk, all them niggas in jail. I got same, pretty much the same kind of situation as your shit. So I mean, but you know, I'm just not gonna take away that like some of that shit do be genetic. You can grow up in the whole, like me, my whole life was different. I grew up kind of in the suburbs, in and out the hood type of shit too at the same time. But some, you know, it's about choices at the end of the day. But with these motherfuckers, it just seemed like genetics played a strong part. Cause the twin sister did the same, damn near the same shit. So it's genetics on one part. Then also, if the family is around and they're not like closely watching these motherfuckers, like if I had that same situation and you know twins or not, I'd be like, hey, you gotta watch these little motherfuckers. They little, you know what I mean? They a little off, you know what I mean? So we gotta, you know, look out for them type of shit. But you know, so
I had a question for y'all.
Both parts.
I'm not gonna use a kid scenario, but I'm gonna use something else. So I'm not gonna use a kid scenario. I'm gonna use something else. When y'all was younger, I'm not sure what backgrounds y'all came from. When y'all was younger, have y'all ever been around activity where you may not know exactly what the fuck going on, but you know something going on and it ain't right, whether it's when the grown-ups huddle up in the room and tell you to get the hell on or whatnot. You may not know what they're doing. You know something ain't right. Y'all ever experienced that before?
Many.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
And that's
say.
right? We knew as kids something was like something a little off, right? So y'all, again, I say it all the time, and I just like put the disclaimer when it comes to kids. I'm really kind of other things I might be a little, I'm really like, hell nah. But this is my thought process. You mean to tell me that grown ass people was around these girls, these twins, these fucking evil people all this time? They may not have known exactly what was up, but they ain't getting no vibe that something was off.
Nah, a lot of motherfuckers get it, man. But when it comes to family shit, they try to keep that in family. I'm from Texas. I'm from Dallas. My Dallas side of the family, it's a whole bunch of like weird ass. It's some shit. Motherfuckers just choose not to talk about that type of shit. You know what I mean? Like motherfuckers is low key throw it off. So yeah, I damn sure get it.
They'll be overlooking that shit and sweeping that shit under the rug.
Yeah, they don't want to stand out and help because they like looking at either they situation or somebody they close with, one of they close kinfolks or some shit like that. Like, shit, I know kinfolk being some wild shit, so I ain't gonna, you know what I mean? Like, shit, I gotta handle my own business. You know what I mean? That type of shit, that type of situation. So, hell yeah.
Let me pull up another document here. So, I think this is what Mimi was talking about yesterday. So basically, they're saying that she was incompetent to stand trial. She was sentenced to inpatient mental health services, and this was ordered by the court. It's a lot of stuff like I think they kind of broke it down to like the statutes they were using. Now it does say here that the defendant is committed to the maximum security unit of North Texas State Hospital Vernon campus for a period not to exceed 120 days from the date the defendant is admitted to the facility for further examination and treatment towards the objective of attaining competency to stand trial. So what I take from it is that they're just trying to get her to the point, I guess, maybe, okay, I'm softening up a little bit, okay? Maybe she wasn't on her meds, right? And maybe this is a way to get her more on on meds, to get it regulated so that she can be functional enough to take the stand trial. That's what I'm taking from it. What y'all take from this?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, that's
No, who is that?
Who's that?
This is Auntie D.
Hey, Auntie D. No, I ain't heard you. Y'all welcome my Truth team member from YouTube, Auntie D, up here.
Y'all, you know, this kind of hits home. You know, Mickey, I have a child that's mentally ill.
Right. Oh, yes, I remember you told us that story.
He stabbed me when he was 6. So if you notice the one that did it, the first one that did it, they said that she could not stand trial. Did you read that? Where they said she could not stand trial and they put her
that's where we at right now. We're on that document right now.
Okay, she's in a mental jail. These people, these young ladies, you know, I'm not a doctor, but I deal with mental illness. These young ladies are schizophrenic and they're not on their meds. And
now, Auntie D, let me ask you this.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think they're schizophrenic?
Why I think because she said, the sister said, they were raping my daughter. Your mind ain't right, and you kill them. Something is off. See, when you are schizophrenic, you hear voices. People, they be in your ear telling you to do stuff. It's crazy. They see things that's not even there. She might have thought that was somebody that was raping her kid and stabbed them up. When I tell you that they're gone, they're gone. They gone. My son stabbed me. He don't even remember stabbing. He always say, I didn't do that, but he did. To this day, he still say he never did that. He was 6 years old.
Whoo, Auntie D, let me tell you. I remember your story in regards to your son when we talked about the Tyree Nichols thing. So I definitely remember. Yes. It stood out to me. So I definitely remember. And I remember we even had the conversation about being able to, as far as like law enforcement, being able to kind of deal with mentally ill people more. But I ain't gonna, you know me, I gotta be honest, right? The mind wasn't all the way that far gone. Now I'm not gonna cap and say maybe she was off of meds or they were off their meds, because at this point we're 2 sisters into this. But they were having babies, so that means they were having sex. Their mind was clear enough to do that, right? They were. Yeah. You get what I'm saying? You get where I'm going with it, because even it don't matter. Shamaya, right? She knew that they were coming to take her kids. Her mind worked enough to say, I don't want nobody to have my kids. I don't want them to take my kids. And that's what was her choice. So I don't know. Like, I'm not gonna take away from the mental illness, but we're gonna have to stand on business with these people that wait until they kill kids to decide to say they mentally ill.
But I don't believe that they're just now saying that, because if you look back in their records, they have had run-ins with the boyfriend. They kidnapped him. They pulled knives on him. They pulled knives on that first one's boyfriend. The two twins. I was waiting for somebody to talk about this because I was reading it, reading about it. And I'm like, my God, it's not that I'm taking up for them. I'm not, y'all. I'm not taking up for them. What they did was wrong. But my opinion, as a mother with a child with mental illness, I feel like that grandmother or whoever was supposed to be protecting those children, because like you said, they do a plan. What's the name of the plan they do?
I know it's called a safety plan here.
Yeah, safety plan. They set up a safety plan for those kids. Because I'm going to tell you, I called CPS on my son. Do you hear me? I called CPS on my son. CPS came and got him out of my house because I was responsible for my other children in the household.
Right.
That boy been in 17. I'm sorry. He been in 36 different hospitals and 17 mental institutions. And he's a grown man and he's running around here free. And he won't take his medication because he's grown and he don't have to. And they won't give me conservatorship so that I can have control, because in Riverside, California, they told me as long as he could eat out of a trash can, it would take me forever to get conservatorship over him.
Hold on. What?
That's what they told me.
We definitely listen. So we definitely. I want to. I'm gonna reach it because don't you follow me on Instagram?
Yeah, I follow you everywhere.
Send me a message because I want to do another panel, right? Well, we dig into that because that's crazy, right? That was telling you that you got. That was their response to that.
And I'm gonna say this one last thing, and I ain't gonna say nothing else. Right now, as of today, California and Texas, you can look it up. California and Texas they have kids from ages, I think she said 12 to 19 years old, y'all, staying in hotels. They done closed down all of the group homes because kids was getting killed and kids was getting molested. They're staying in motels. A worker got beat up in California and raped by a 16-year-old. I'm not going to say nothing else. This is what they're doing to our mental health people. This is what we got out here. Because they didn't close all the group homes. Look it up.
And you know what? I vaguely remember it was something like that where I'm from. About it was for the kids though. They didn't have enough foster homes. So yeah, I remember that vaguely. I don't, to be honest, I don't even know if they're still going on with that now. But look, as always, Auntie D, I love when you come and be genuine and tell us, about what you know for sure. Cause I like to tie in personal experiences when we talk about things like this. But we're gonna get into the mental health more deeply though. Because this is our second go around.
How you gonna understand these twins though? They really got some mental health issues. It's not that they're angry or nothing like that. They are mentally ill.
What they do? What did kids do? What happened? What happened, Auntie? What happened, Auntie? Talk to me.
With what?
What are you talking about, Auntie?
What's up, Beast?
What about the kids?
Hey, Beast, we are on YouTube. So.
Oh shit, my bad.
Beast, he coming in hot.
The kids they have closed all the group homes. There's no more group homes. Like my son, when we were in California, they have levels. Well, he was a level 15. California didn't have it, so they had to send him to Utah, right?
Yes.
So all these group homes now that they had open, they have closed them. So the kids that are under CPS care, Look it up, y'all.
No, I believe
It's
you. I know.
ridiculous.
No, I believe you. I know. My wife was under foster care system. Yeah.
They put them. They're putting them in hotels. Two states that I know of, California and Texas. They got those kids in hotels, and they got security guards on the floors. I talked to a social worker the other day. It just so happened I met her, and she said it's ridiculous. I'm gonna see if I can find that ad, Mickey, and send it to you.
Yeah,
The
send
lady
it
was
to me
talking.
because I want to stay
She
on the
retired.
thing with the kids and these evil twins. But yeah, we
Yeah,
gonna
she
connect
retired.
more on what you
I'm
talking
gonna
about
send.
though.
I'm gonna see if I can find it. I'm gonna send it to you.
Okay, I appreciate that. For those who just joined in, whether you're on Clubhouse or YouTube, make sure you share it. Okay,
Yeah.
y'all already know I love to incorporate my personal experience. So because y'all know I get hit hard for the type of stuff I cover, and they want to say I
Yeah.
don't know what I'm talking about, but I just want to put it out there. I definitely understand a lot of this stuff from a personal view and just from life view. Who was that trying to say something?
That was Hollywood.
What's up, Hollywood? Okay. But yeah, so y'all make sure y'all like everything, comment, share, tell a friend, tell a friend. We have real conversations. I'm trying to do it more often in House of Truth on not YouTube, on Clubhouse, and just streaming live from YouTube. As always, y'all know I just thought about I'm a jack of all trades. I can get into almost any conversation. So definitely pull up to Cloud Monsters after this live because we got something we've been working on, and I want to debut it in Cloud Monsters because I think I'm going to shake the floor with this one. But back to the story at hand, y'all. We have went over the available paperwork. Okay, like I said, the new case with Shamaya is not available yet. Hold on, who is that? You said what?
That was Hollywood. I apologize, man. Keep going.
That doggone beast.
That was I just muted her mic.
Shout out to Beast, man. Dangerous mind.
You already know. Shout out to Mickey. Mickey, I love you too.
But y'all know I'm gonna be doing more of this because I feel like Auntie D brought to my attention, not a lot of people are talking about. We need to talk about it. And y'all know I like to quote T Money all the time. We got to call a spade a spade. Now, what's the issue? Because I've named, like I said, y'all Google Susan Smith. She was the original case that I remember in like my lifetime. In South Carolina, and she's still in jail to this day, right? And I ain't gonna lie, my mama was locked up with her at some point, and she said she basically had a fan club. Now this lady killed 2 of her kids. In the article it says that the boys held each other hand. They found them with their hands together when they pulled the car out the water. So, and people send her money, like she has a whole fan club. So it's not just the people that's doing these crimes that's sick, it's other people that support it. So we can't stop that. Everybody's, free to do what they want with that. But we need to really open this conversation, because if it was a disconnect with child welfare in this case or any other case, then we need to figure that out. If it was a disconnect because the family didn't follow the rules, definitely need to put stricter rules in place. Because again, I've saw it from both sides. I saw cases where it was like somebody hating, just trying to stir up mess, saying that they're doing drugs, stuff like that, and it turned to be nothing. But then I've also seen parents beating the fuck out their kids to the point I'll be ready to kick their ass. So, like, I definitely see it from both sides, but we have to talk about it because we can't keep losing beautiful, beautiful souls at 3, 4, 5, 6 years old. That's like heartbreaking. Like a 7-year-old being stabbed 30 times. I mean, I know kids are bigger now, but can you imagine at any 7 years old going through that? And it's nothing you can do because this is your mother, right? This is the person that you felt like was flirting.
Let me ask you this, Mickey, and ask the room. For cases like this with the Samaya Hall who stabbed her 5 children, what else could CPS really do in cases like that? Because the children were removed from the home or removed from her care. They were placed with a family member. They were doing follow-up visits. I mean, she stabbed her children while the caseworker was there. So what else could really be done? Like,
they could have put on her to go get mental assistance. They could have evaluated her actually. Gave her evaluation.
But I think, like I said,
her case
the family
was.
member dropped the ball on this one. I'm sorry.
Yeah, the family members absolutely dropped the ball. She wasn't even supposed to have unsupervised visits, and she was there alone with the kids. So,
and I've seen it happen in real life. That's why I said the family member dropped the ball.
The only other option to keep the kids safe would have been to take the mother away and not let her see her kids.
I think
we don't know
certain incidents, like I don't know what DSS, well, we call them DSS, but child protective custody. I don't know what like their standard is to decide if like a relative is secure enough to keep the kids. But I know outside looking in with no history in it, hell, if I find out your sister done killed a kid, I'm gonna think twice about making a decision to do a safety plan instead of like actually doing like a removal.
Right. And I really wonder what happened to that caused her to lose her children in the first place.
Exactly. And was this the first time? You know what I'm saying? Like, I feel like because I know personally some repeat offenders, meaning I know people that had multiple DSS cases for sure. Not saying they were all like extensive, but I mean, at some point, I get people be hating, but how many cases do you want? Like, how many cases to a point where something got to be done? And I understand everything's short staffed. Hell, my real day job short staffed. It is just like, I don't know. But what I do know, we're going to continue to talk about it. We're going to continue to bring it to the forefront. Y'all, mom, like, this is so, like, heavy on me because I feel so strongly when it comes to crimes against kids, because I feel like out of everybody, kids have to suffer, and they don't even know they're suffering, unfortunately. They don't even know. We know, for the most part, what to look for. We know what can harm us. They don't. So when you hear kids being done wrong, murdered, whatever the case may be, it's like, I can't help but personally put myself like, damn, when I was 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 years old, I used to be happy as fuck to see my mama. Like, that made my day to see my mama come through the door. So the thing, you're happy to see your mom, in my opinion, right? You're happy to see your mom, and then she stabs you 30 times. That's crazy. And that's heavy. I'm going to get ready to end the YouTube live, y'all. I'm going to remain on Clubhouse. I'm going to be dropping a video very soon to YouTube. Definitely, y'all already know, pull up on your girl and watch it. Meet me in Clout Monsters tonight. Yeah, because like it's just intense with everything going on. Y'all make sure if y'all come to Clubhouse to follow Clout Monsters, follow House of Truth, follow Section A Apartment 218, follow Bluff Masters, KP Land. If y'all in the room and y'all got a house, please say it, because it'd be hard keeping up with all these houses.
Welcome home.
Oh, yeah, welcome home.
Also, Black Cotton.
Yes, definitely. Hey, let me tell y'all know Don Ben be pulling up on the Truth Team on YouTube all the time. He has been doing his thing with these grown and sexy conversations. He normally does them on the weekend, so y'all make sure y'all stay tuned and drop in for that. And we be talking our stuff. And of course, more videos coming. I'm going to get back into doing lives more often. So y'all know what I say. Y'all know my keyword. What I say, y'all. Y'all know? Holla!
Remember me wearing a frown. Now it's the other way around. They mad cause I made it out.
I took the hard way. I ain't asking a nigga for nothing. I threw the hard way. Hard way. Hard way. My heart to this day. I'm really with it. My feelings in it. So please, bitch, don't play. I took the hard way. I ain't asking a nigga for nothing. I threw the hard way. Hard way. Hard way, my heart to this day. I'm really with it, my feelings in it. So please, bitch, don't play. Don't play. Don't play.